as a subcontract.
I might do that maybe in the winter. Well,
You're
I'm gonna
first
try
on
that.
the agenda that.
Yeah, we tried to put that last. I don't think about it here today.
Well, something do happen, there are these people who are ideas because you can't. To come back.
Okay, I'll call to order this, meeting of the, Plattsburgh City Council Infrastructure Committee, July 3rd, 2023 at 5 p.m. Members of Councilor Allen. Here. Councilor Moore.
Here.
And Councilor Kelly here, and Mayor Rosenquist is excused tonight, not going to be with us. Unless anybody has any changes or additions to the minutes, I'll take a motion to approve the minutes from our last meeting. Motion by Councilor Talon, seconded by Councilor Moore. All in favor? Aye. Okay, item number 2 is public works discussion of the infrastructure report. Take it away, Mr. Bissett.
Good evening. We put it tonight. Obviously, Andrew's not here to talk about his projects, but I can give you as much information as I can. As far as operational things go, the emergency water line job on the base, we are in the last stages of it. We demobilized the staging areas, both on Kentucky and over at the Oval, so it's been cleaned up, restored to their original conditions. Asphalt patching, lawn restoration has been completed on the Country Village area. Sidewalks, curbs, driveways that were disturbed have all been patched. We have some work left on as far as restoration goes on Fort Brown. And a little bit on Ohio, I believe, with some pipe together. One final thing we have to do on the east side of US Ave would be pressure grouting the old main. Even though the new main is in service, we'll have a contractor come in. It's about 3 days worth of work where they'll pump grout into the old line. That way, if someone ever comes across it, in the future, they'll know it's out of service. Also, it doesn't act as a conduit in case we have a leak somewhere where there's water down the line. So, some minor things left to clean up, but the good news is the system is up and running 100%. We did move on to hydrant flushing last week, and we were able to do that comfortably without having to worry about blowing the system up. About the city, it's zones 1 and 2. Starting on Wednesday, we'll continue on our routine of flushing throughout the city. So that's been a good thing for us.
Just wanted you to know, I took a drive on Nevada Oval today, and it was really, really nice.
It's we're getting there, and everything kind of looks nice now because it's green. That's the other thing you probably notice is we're getting a little bit behind on mowing. With all the rain, everything has been done. But yeah, it's okay.
Sure.
Paving, we did do our first round of it. I think we spoke about the last meeting, which included Ohio, Nevada, which is in Lake Forest Drive. The next phase, which you approved the last meeting, was before would be Pond Street, part of Hamilton and part of Pike. Then we'll move on up River Street, go on to George Andrews Drive, where the school is, all the way down to the bridge. Parts of the River Prospect, Park Ave. So
It's all at George Andrews, right?
all of George Andrews, right, the River Street, right down in the bottom.
That's
So we'll have some drainage work to do, the public works to do in house. And some prep work, same thing with Hamilton Street, there's some drainage improvements we have to take care of there ahead of the paving work. But we're gonna be working on that. That'll be the prep work this month. This work will be a little bit slow. July is typically a heavy vacation month along with events. So that slows us down a little bit. Guardrails that's ongoing, parks, beach and city grounds, we're up in full go with that. The beach is going very well, I think. Basically daily cleanup. Field maintenance has slowed down a little bit as the high school sports have stopped. It's always field play has slowed down, just down to the ball, the city leagues. General maintenance, we're out there doing catch basins, manholes, valve work. Big one is the hydrant flushing. Now that we've completed the one job there, so after that. Street sweeping and catch basin cleaning. That's also ongoing. Weather permits, when we have heavy rain days, I can't do a lot of that, but we get the trucks out there. The other thing you might have noticed, we did do some painting, mainline painting, it kind of came in at about 50%. Really shows up nice in the first couple of days until it gets tracked over a little bit, it's all down, but it shows up. I have 50% more. Roughly, I checked it about what they had done for footage. Doesn't seem like a whole lot was done, but there was a lot that was done. It's about 2 or 3 days ago. The next step would be epoxy paint, which the contractor should be here next week to start in on epoxy markings. So we'll start with bicycle markings first, then move on to stop bars and turn arrows. So that will be also the next month.
Does that include crosswalk?
There will be crosswalk ladders, yes. Will we get them all? No. But when I started, the budget for epoxy paint, which is again, just specialty markings, would be the ladders, the arrows, the holes, the bicycle symbols, was about 75,000. This year we're up to $140,000. So the price of paint has gone up. I don't know why epoxy went up so much. The latex is going up a little bit with
And unfortunately, the the epoxy folds up a lot better.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, we could try to go to a different product. You're not gonna go to oil based. And latex is tough too. When you start painting at night in high traffic areas, it doesn't look like cold weather set. That's what in New York State, you're not allowed to spray oil anymore. So it's a tricky one. I don't ask you why they do epoxy. I have no understanding except that it'd be, toxic. So we'll get going on it, and I think it's going to take. Again, we had it with COVID years. We had a couple of years there. We just could not get caught up on it. They couldn't get the paint, and so we are behind. But I know the crosswalks in particular. I was riding down the last street today. I saw several locations of the ladders to start to tail or fade out on us. We need to get going on it. So.
It's hard to tell where the lane is there.
Yes.
The other night I was going like, well, am I centered on this or, because there's 2 lanes and the marking's kind of worn out.
Yeah.
So at night especially, it's,
There will be some markings too that are gonna get done independent, on obviously Market Street, when they complete that this fall, those all we do. We're also on Cornelia Street, where they're doing the piece out work of those, you've probably seen them with the push signals to the crosswalks and that Andrews project there, so that also too. Along with the curb, or the sidewalk curb with their drops. Okay, on to the capital stuff, unless there's any more operational questions.
I just had to know.
Okay.
I heard it this morning. So I didn't know there was 2 sizes of garbage cans and.
There are 2 sizes of totes that we currently have. The normal size tote is 96. What we did do is for the needs assist people and handicap people with iPods and 65s. And that in case they're having trouble handling them. Also, if they call to sign up for service or switch, the changing service, if their needs assist person talk to our people in the office as well about that.
So we can tell people that there is an option. I know
There is an option, but it's reserved. We're encouraging all people to take the 96s. It's your best bargain. Even if you're bi-weekly, because it's going to cost the same whether you get a 65 or 96 or 80%. But yeah, there is a smaller size that is available for needs assist people. They can't handle that because I knew that was going to be the case. I mean, I have a 96 by home, and when it's full, it's a lot, for sure. But they are on wheels and
What are the lids on those?
they're just a flip up lid.
So there's nothing like kind of like snapping it in place.
Nope, it's a heavy enough lid where they stay down and it's very durable. I hate to say it, the totes we decided to use are the same tote that I was outside the city at a private hauler. It's a tote that is quite.
Okay.
It was lasted over 15 years without any maintenance to it. And also it's on a municipal contract. We went out for price, but it was actually the most affordable and also I found it very durable. So
Okay.
yeah, that particular model sold well for me. First, I kind of model stuff that works at my house and I look at what other people are using and it's been very good. So, but the lids are, there's no snap down on them. It sort of, you know, it lays down.
Okay,
But they are, you know, and that's another great thing too, like one of the totes, like you don't know how many garbage can lids and garbage cans you had to buy over the years from people because the lids will blow away and then someone will call us up.
True.
Yeah.
so we have to have them attached.
Yes.
Just, I'm just concerned, like, just like maybe some people should get in a practice of putting their garbage out, the morning of garbage morning, so as to.
I don't think you have a problem with it. Well, actually, you could up to, I think it's 24 hours before you can put out that garbage outside the can, and that's only been an issue. Because animals do get into it. And it's a problem, that's another reason we're liking towards these totes. It's another thing that cleans up the city.
Okay.
For sure. Move on to Market Street. Andrew, obviously not here to give the update, I'll tell you that it went extremely well. The contractor is gone for the next 2 days here, he'll be back on Wednesday, but they got things left up in July. Water line is, all the connections are complete. So on the Broad Street end, on the Green Street end, we're tidying up on Oak down below. We have a handful of services that we left on Market Street itself. They need to be tied in, but that doesn't have to mean they have rural water, it's just a tie in for each house. Sewer is complete, as far as I know, from Oak Street down Brink and Oak Street down Port to Margaret. And then they started on Broad Street, they're bringing the sewer down Margaret north. So went very well, on schedule. Meetings, the contractor has been very, very cooperative, very helpful. Gone out of their way to make sure that they can, it's tough. I know businesses, the mayor's done a great job, I believe, getting right out there and do planes and Andrew all over it as well as see that representative. So all good. Cornelia Street, I don't know how much of an update on that. We're in the design phase, still doing some studies on that. It will have to be. There's a lot of labor that has to go over that. I don't think it's going to be a fast project by any means, particularly once it decides to design it exactly with the property, issues that will have to work through. But Andrew will give you a better update in this meeting of that. And then miscellaneous items. This month is the events month. We have Parks Live events. We have 4th of July Mayor's Cup. Spent a lot of time last week prepping for the 4th of July parade. Mayor's Cup to the beach has helped us out a lot as far as not having a second parade. So that is not as labor intensive, but that's what we're keeping on. And then special projects, we finished up over at Wilson Penfield. Digital batting cage got donated by Hector Duquette. It came out really nice. Check that out. And then we do have another batting cage got donated by Plastic League, which we still have to hopefully get to install. The final location we're thinking down at Fox Hill. And then I got a ton of signs that people like to donate specialty signs. So there's a historical sign to be able to have people. Any questions? Adjourned?
Thank you very much, Micah. Appreciate the report. Okay. Next, we move into the environmental section of our meeting, and we have draft resolution 3.1 to authorize an agreement for the Mead Dam Engineering Assessment Services. May I have a motion? Motion by Councilor Talon, seconded by Councilor Moore. Discussion. Okay, everyone's okay with moving this to the regular agenda for the next council. Indicate by saying aye.
Hi.
Aye. Any opposed? No. So that item is moved to the regular agenda. 3.2, draft resolution to establish capital project 8830.85 2023 production well number 1. May I have a motion, please? Moved by Councilor Town. Seconded by Councilor Moore. Discussion.
I had some questions on this, but I guess I don't mind moving it to the regular meeting and I can ask my questions there.
Okay, I don't know if you saw it, but Beth provided us with a outline that John Ruff made. And it describes all this in pretty good detail.
Yeah, it didn't answer the questions that
Okay,
I had.
okay,
Uh,
okay.
I don't wanna waste everybody's time here because John's not here.
Yeah, John will be here at the next meeting.
So that's
He's
fine.
on vacation.
Yeah, Thursday?
No.
No. I'll
Week from, or,
We won't be back to him. He's on vacation.
okay,
Oh,
So if you want to email your questions, so I can get them to him.
okay.
did you want to discuss this any further or just move it to the agenda?
Well, I think, I don't know, maybe you would know, like,
I'm gonna try, I studied this thing pretty well.
But was this an addition? I know we spent a lot of money on those ones already. Is this in addition to what we spent so far, or is this included? I know we've had various things come up over the last probably year and a half.
Yeah, that's a good question and a fair question, and the answer is, I think it's all part of John Ruff's overall plan for bringing well drinking water to, our.
Yeah, I know, but I was just wondering if it was an addition. How much we kind of a handle on how much we spent on that. I can send them that. It was one of the
Yeah.
questions that I had.
I
And if these, if these loans are in addition to what we had before, or is this part of what we had before? I don't know.
I think it's part of what we had before, Jeff. I say that because it wouldn't make any sense to drill a well without, the proper lines to carry it to the water mains. And also to have the electricity for the pump. And that's mainly what we're approving here is.
Well, that was 1.6 million. I was wondering, what exactly we're getting for that. That's quite a bit for an electrical contractor.
Okay,
If that includes the price of the pumps.
yeah, they're installing well pumps, they're constructing an access road.
I know the electrical contractors.
Okay, yes, you're right, I'm just, it's, what they're doing for $1.6 million is they're installing an electrical line, transformers, and power supply to the new well. They're installing a backup generator, and those two items are pretty much it.
The other question I had for them, I know a single well like that, if that actually supply all the water the city needs, or how much of it, how much are we going to get out of that? I know other places that have wells have more than one, and they're not as big as us.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that'd be a pretty spectacular well. It could take over the whole city, all the water that we need in a day. I don't know.
You might remember that John's concern all along has been that the meat dam is.
Yeah, I understand that part of it. We're spending a lot of money on this single well, and
So his
how
thought,
much is this, how much of this is going to be able to contribute to the actual water that we use every day? Because, if there was some serious thing developed with the dam, we're gonna need a lot of water.
yes.
We have that backup reservoir, but I'm not, I looked at that. I'm not altogether sure that's ready to go at the moment.
I know that in the past, those other sources, they have used, and they had found the West Brook one too, and they also actually have access to Santa River. So we have quite a bit of redundancy there. I don't want to speak out loud here for John, but I know that there's other sources, and as far as the wells, so I do believe that the intent is to have more than one well. There's several test sites we've gone up there, would be helpful and accessible. I
Yeah,
think that this is the next step is getting this portion. You know, they're blending, I believe, the reservoir water and the well waters. Yeah.
I think, John's intent is to lower the level and the mead dam, the mead reservoir.
yeah, that was the other question I was gonna have for him too, was like, I know when people drill wells, you know, you do a test originally, and you may get X amount of gallons, but a lot of times when you start drawing water out of there, you start getting more minerals, might get, you know, some other particles and whatever,
I remember you brought this up before.
yeah, I thought, well, I could ask those questions, and I'm really wasting everybody's time
No, you're not, no, you're not.
asking those questions, but, because I know we had wells in Champlain that are, you know, I know some of the problems that we had, and that, you know, some of the wells, once they started pumping, then they weren't as clean and usable as what they were, so I think we ended up with 5 wells. And really, 2 of them actually worked well, the other 3 not as well. I not use them, but anyway, I was just wanted to see how it was covering all those bases.
I'd like to say that if we're looking 10 years into the future, we'll have numerous wells. More than 1, probably more than 2. So, but we can save all this to
Yeah, yeah, I don't wanna ask questions I don't have answers for.
okay.
So thanks, Mike, for.
That's the best, I don't really wanna say something that's out of line. I do know that from what I've been told, at least as far as the other sources we have, and not my time in the city, but they had used the other reservoirs as backup during the full water time, you know, I think they even went to the river one time is what I was told, that had been years and years ago.
Okay, so all in favor of moving draft resolution 3.2 to the regular agenda indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, let's move on to item 3.3. That is award of drinking water system improvements, phase 1, well, PW1 project contract IE. So if you look at the resolution for this 3.3. What this is talking about is the electric bill. This is the amount of $1,638,600. This is for electrical work to add pump, electrical lines, and backup generator to that new well, so that we can actually put it in use. So this is, there are 2 parts to this, and it totals $4.6 million, but this part is $1.6 million, and it just refers to the electrical work that has to be done. Does anybody have any questions or concerns about this?
We need a first and second first.
Yeah.
Oh, we need a first and second first.
Oh, we did not, okay, I apologize. And who would like to make the motion to bring this to the floor? Okay, Council Talon, and second, Council Moore. All right, now we can discuss.
Very good.
Thank you. Okay, any discussion?
Yeah, it's right here.
It explains it pretty well on that sheet of paper we have that John provided us in his absence. All in favor of moving this to the regular agenda, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, we'll move that to the regular agenda, and we're on to item 3.4. Draft resolution award of drinking water system improvements phase 1, well, PW1 project contract 1G. May I have a motion? Moved by Council Talon, seconded by Council Moore. Any discussion on this?
This is right here, and at the very top of that.
It's got- And they've got some bullet points for us to tell us exactly what's gonna happen there. The installation of the pump, constructing an access road. 4,000 feet of line and tying that into the existing lines. That sounds like a lot of work. Any other discussion about that? Okay, all in favor of moving that to the regular agenda, indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Moves to the regular agenda, and finally, we're at number 3.5. To authorize a budget adjustment for sewer and debt service funds. And may I have a motion, please? Councilor Talon, second. Councilor Moore. Discussion. My understanding on this is that this is a WIA grant, 60%. 40% is what they call a hardship loan. It's a low interest loan for the work, and we have to pay $73,500 upfront in order to move this along. That's how I understand it. So the 40% hardship is $1,562,200. Our initial investment on that, you could almost consider it a down payment, is $73,500 this year, and then next year it's another $73,500, and then the rest is bonded over 30 years. Does anyone have any questions or concerns about this that you'd like to discuss? Okay, seeing no answers, I will ask that we can move this to the regular agenda, indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay. Next item on the agenda is new business. Is there any new business tonight? Okay. Any public comment? There's no members of the public present, so we'll assume there's no public comment this evening. And I'll take a motion to adjourn by Councilor Talon, seconded by Councilor Moore. All in favor?